Hello boys and girls and welcome back to term 2. This term we will be looking at tombs and treasures for our topic, and today we are going to learn about the process of mummification. So the afterlife was an important part of ancient Egyptian culture. One of the ways they prepared for the afterlife was to try and preserve the body for as long as possible. They did this through a process called embalming. These embalmed bodies are called mummies, which I'm sure you've all heard about, especially around Egypt. So, how did they embalm the mummies? The Egyptians went through a long process to preserve the body and keep it from decaying. It's a little gross, so we won't go into too much of the gory details. However, in the coming weeks, we will go into a little bit more detail on it, where you can do your own research, which we will all look forward to. But the main thing they did was try to get all the water and moisture out of the body. It's water that causes much of the decay. So these are the steps in which they had to take to mummify. Wash the body with palm oil and water from the river. Pull out the brains through the nostrils with a hook, which I'm sure you'll all do lots of research about in the future. Step 3, the liver, lungs, intestines and stomach were put into canopic jars and left to dry. Then they covered the body with natron salt, leave it to dry for 40 days. So it would stay like this for 40 days. After removing the body from natron, they apply makeup, fake eyes and hair to make it look nice. And then the final steps would be to wrap the body with linen, add amulets and a book of the dead. Then the mummy was placed in a sarcophagus and moved to a tomb. Why did they care so much about the dead bodies? So in the Egyptian religion, the body was needed in order for the soul, or ba, of the person to unite with the ka of the person in the afterlife. The body was an important part of the afterlife and they wanted to preserve it forever. So, did everybody get this fancy embalming? Not quite. Only the very rich could afford the best embalming. It was important to everybody though, so they got the best that they could pay for, and most of the dead were made into mummies. They say about 70 million mummies were done in Egypt over the 3,000 years of ancient civilization. So, some fun facts about ancient Egyptian mummies. Over the past few thousands of years, many of the Egyptian mummies have been destroyed in interesting ways. Some were burned for fuel, some were ground into powder to make magical potions, and some were destroyed by treasure hunters. The heart was left in the body because it was considered to be the centre of intelligence. The brain was thrown away because it was thought to be useless. That's an interesting fact. Sometimes the mummy's mouth would be opened to symbolise breathing in the afterlife. It is probably this custom that led to the superstition that mummies came back to life. Mummies are studied by scientists without unwrapping them by using CAT scan and X-ray machines, especially now in 2021 where technology has improved immensely. So boys and girls, your project for the next 2 weeks will be to become ancient Egyptian embalmers, and I'm sure you all think yuck, but let's see what you have to do. So the equipment that you're going to need is tomatoes, antibacterial hand wash containing alcohol, which you should find easy right now, natron, which is table salt, and bicarbonate of soda. So you need the 2 of those ingredients. Kitchen towel, containers, knives, spoons, and weighing scales. So boys and girls, what you're going to do is step 1, you're going to look at the dead body, your tomato. What does it look like? Think of the colours, the shine, the skin, and also what does it smell like? How does it feel? We would like you to draw a picture and write down your observations. Then we would like you to make a small incision in the body, your tomato, using a knife and scoop out the seeds using the spoon. We can throw these bits away, but the ancient Egyptians would have stored the lungs, liver, stomach and guts in canopic jars. But we're not going to do that, so you can throw that away. Next, you're going to rub the body, the tomato, inside and out with the alcohol antibacterial wash using kitchen towel. This will kill any nasty germs that may be lurking inside the body. Next, you're going to weigh your mummy. This is the pre-mummification weight. So this is really important and you need to make sure that you write that down. Be sure to make note of this weight. We will need this later on. Next, pack the body, your tomato, with a special salt called natron, an equal mix of table salt and bicarbonate of soda. Place your stuffed body inside a container also filled with natron. So make sure that you fill the container right up and then you put your body inside of it, okay? Then the final step would be, ancient Egyptians would have to wait 70 days to be able to complete their mummification process. But we are going to wait 2 weeks. What do you think will happen to the body? Let's think about that, boys and girls. All good scientists have to write down their methods and findings. So, in your topic books, in OneNote, or in the Word file that your teachers have created in your files section of your teams, write down your pre-mummification weight, your method, and your predictions for what you think will happen to our mummies. So don't forget, boys and girls, your 2 tasks that you need to do for this week. 1 task for this week and the second task will go over 2 weeks. So the first task is to answer the questions on the form below by selecting 1 answer in each question, as it's multiple choice. And then task 2 will be to complete your own mummification project with the tomato as described in the slides above.